Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about tips for praying the rosary with your kids. Hey everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day. So, as we're kind of in the season of being at home a lot, and depending on when you're watching this video, we could still be all at home, or maybe you're watching it later and you're just curious about this topic. Praying the rosary is just a really great meditative practice. I've been hearing a lot of people who like to pray it while walking right now, when they go on their walks, or just as a way to kind of be focused. And one of the great things, I think, especially for children, is the fact that Mary, beyond anything else, is a mother, right? She is our mother in heaven. She is always there for us. She is there to comfort us. And she's there to walk with us through hard times. And I think that's such a beautiful message for kids to be able to hear, to pray with. And like many things, it's one of those things that is caught more than taught. But I know I've been getting questions about how to pray the rosary. This video won't go through the actual steps to praying the rosary. I'll link a video below that does a great job at that. And I'll also, if you're interested, do a video on that later. This is really if you do pray the rosary or are interested in introducing the rosary to your kids. 7-ish tips to kind of help with that. And if you want to incorporate into your family prayer time, as a way to introduce Mary to them, as a way to introduce this idea of our Heavenly Mother and having her walk with us through hard times, through good times, through all of that. So, the first thing is, most of us are probably familiar with rosary beads. These are one of my many sets. I have different ones that I've gotten from traveling. I have different ones that people have given me. I have still the set I was given during my first communion because they're just special to me. This is actually a set that my husband gave me, that I use a lot to pray with, if I feel just the need to pray the rosary. Um, and also, I just wanted to show you this. If you are looking to learn how to pray the rosary, this is, I'm trying to show it to you guys, this little yellow, sorry, right there. This is an app I love, and it's a great Catholic app. And in it, you'll see there's the daily readings. There is even you can do an examination of conscience before confession. But what I love is there is a rosary. You kind of have to scroll down. Sorry, it's hard to look and show you. But there is rosary in there, and you can pray the rosary. You can pick the mystery. So if you are looking for a guide through the rosary, this is a great place to start for yourself personally. Um, and so I just wanted to mention that before we start. And of course, your trusty beads. But actually, one of my first tips is sometimes you might want to skip the beads, depending on the age of your children, or get more child-friendly beads. There's a lot of Catholic stores that make larger sets of rosary with bigger beads that sometimes are easier for smaller hands to handle. There's actually even a chewable rosary for like babies, which might be nice. Like a baby obviously wouldn't be praying the rosary, but they'd be learning the rosary by hearing you pray it. So it's always a nice thing for them to have something in their hand so they're not grabbing at yours sometimes. But right now I know shipping's a little rough, but you can always order a set or use something a little different. So this is a really simple mock-up I did. You can even use a piece of paper, and this will lead us into our next one, which is don't start trying to pray the whole rosary with your child, right? Like this can be a very elongated prayer. Start with one decade, introduce one mystery per time, and that's what this is. Literally, it's just a really simple card to pray one decade. So there's the first, there's the 10 Hail Marys, and then the end. So they can even just use their finger and follow along. Another thing is there's great coloring pages you can print out so they could color as you're praying it, and that might be a great way if you do start introducing one part of the rosary to them per sitting, that they can feel like they're completing something over the course of however long you take to do the full rosary. So that's such a great way, and it also is something that might spark them having more interest, like, oh, we have to get to this next part. We call that gamification in education, but that idea of just really encouraging them to want to go ahead and complete the whole rosary photo. So that's a great thing. And like I said, the second tip is, you don't have to start with the full rosary. Don't feel like you have to. About one decade takes about 5 minutes, so that isn't pretty okay for most elementary age kids. The next thing is, you can shorten the decade, and that's where something like this comes in handy, because you could just, erase this bottom line and do a shortened decade. That's totally okay too, especially if you have like younger kids, preschool age, or younger elementary who maybe can't sit for that long, or you're just seeing that they're not sitting. That is also a great way. And using something that you make yourself in those settings is really great, because they don't realize it at first. And then you can slowly start adding in more different parts to the rosary. So that's another great tip. Shorten it if you need to. The other nice thing is using pictures. There are great online resources, especially when it comes to the different mysteries. I wouldn't start with the sorrowful mysteries first with little kids, but there are great images. So art and that beauty is such a wonderful way to bring kids to prayer. So do a quick Google search, look at photos, find ones that interest them, and then as you're introducing each decade, show them a picture, talk about it, and use that as a way to pray through that mystery. And it just offers them another tangible part of it to see, to think about, to talk about. Have them, do a little bit almost Ignatian spirituality. Have them think about the picture. Like, what do you see? Where do you think you would be in that scene? Which is a great way to kind of draw them into the mystery of the rosary even more so. The next thing is to really set the tone. We've talked a lot in the series, and I will link the playlist at the end of this video about setting a space, right? We talked a lot about that, setting a space for prayer, having a special space, and setting a tone. So in Catechesis of the Good Shepherd, one of the things we do a lot is we ring a bell when it's time to come to prayer. You could do bells, you could light candles, you could listen to a hymn to Mary. Those types of things are just great ways to set the mood. And it also helps to bring their focus to the fact, okay, we're doing something different right now. We're going to get quiet. It's time to do this. And I would say, I'm filming this video at the end of April. We are about to enter May, which is a wonderful month for all things Mary. It's a month that we really celebrate our mother. So what a wonderful time to introduce this. And it's a great way to start bringing in some of those hymns that you might remember that you would hear at church around this season, because it is a time when we really focus on Mary. Another thing too, this is going to sound funny, but as you're praying the rosary, just ignore your kids. I know that sounds weird, but so much, especially with faith, it's what is caught and not taught, right? When they see you praying the rosary, when they see you living out your faith, it draws them in curiosity and realizing that it's something important to you. It's also not that you are doing this because you feel like, oh, we have to learn this. This is something that feeds me, helps me spiritually, and that piques their interest in it even more. And also, you're modeling for them what it looks like, what they're kind of doing, and that kind of intrigues them too. Kids like to know what's expected. Kids like to know what things are supposed to look like. So seeing you do it first can be really helpful for that. And it also shows that prayer isn't something that we just do when it's convenient, right? And sometimes that's the hardest part. But in all prayer, when it's your personal prayer time, this is something that we do in TGS a lot. If I'm working on something as the catechist, the children learn to respect the fact that they have to wait. And we always say, like, waiting is so hard, but so important. So it's the same thing with your personal prayer time, that they might need something. And now, of course, if someone's bleeding, that kind of stuff, they need to interrupt you. But that idea of learning to be patient and waiting for you helps them then when they do get deeper into prayer to learn that patient waiting for God to speak to them. Hopefully that makes sense. But once in a while, it is important if you have decided, right, in your prayer time that you're going to finish 1 decade of your rosary, and halfway through, one kid starts crawling away and one starts playing with the coloring on the outside paper. Just keep going. Finish it for yourself and then just pack it away. And maybe that means next time you shorten the decade, next time you all pray together. Maybe you try it again and they just more and more get used to the elongated of the 5 minutes. But always finish the decade because it does help them see the order of it too. And again, they might not seem like they're paying attention, but there's so much more that is caught than taught in many ways when it comes to prayer. The last thing is, and this is like one of those other tips, so you can try cards, you can try coloring. The last idea is edible rosaries. I know, right? So taking strawberries, taking chocolate chips, if you will, or mixing it up. Maybe the Our Fathers and the Mysteries are chocolate chips and the Hail Marys are blueberries. But making an edible decade, and that kind of keeps their interest a little bit longer. It's also a great way if you do have a child who's younger, who's going through putting everything in their mouth phase, because this is something they can put in their mouth and you don't have to worry about germs or anything like that, especially right now where we're trying to make sure everything is very, very clean. So that's a wonderful way too. It's also something similarly to the idea of using pictures or coloring pages where you don't have to wait for rosaries to come in. You don't have to wait to have everything. It's just using what you have truly. If this is something you want to introduce, I will link down below a couple extra resources for you. We do have rosaries. If you're a local parishioner to Church of the Transfiguration and you're in need of a rosary, call the office. We can work something out for a no contact delivery or some way if you're really feeling called and feeling the desire to pray. But remember, there's the app. There's tons of ways to pray this. If you're feeling the desire to grow closer to Mary through the rosary, there are so many ways. And know that the intent and the desire to do it is ultimately the most important part. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe to our channel for more of these. Check out the playlist. I'll link in a second. And I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day.